Hello, everybody. So, yes, we were supposed to come on at 9:30, but this game is not over yet. We are sitting here watching it, so we figured we just come on, go live, watch the overtime, and then talk about the game after. Hopefully, it only goes one overtime. Hopefully, it doesn't go two. But yes, we're all here. Craig, Ty, we are here. We are enjoying this game. It didn't look like it was going to be this type of game, but it turned out it has been in overtime. I didn't think they were down what 13, 15 at one point.
17, I believe.
17 was the
Yeah.
highest. Yeah. So, but here we are.
Yeah, I'm ready
So
for him to get that extended contract.
yeah. So that's a couple of the things we could talk about as we wait for the overtime period to start. Yeah, he's probably the highlight tonight. I would definitely say the way Cam Reddish has played, and then he hit the game tying shot. So definitely want to give him the props he deserves. I've been really hard on him, but he's playing well tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So
Same
definitely,
with Julius Randle too. We gotta give him his flowers tonight. He's looked like Julius of 2 years ago. So
yeah, that would be the other guy. Julius Randle definitely has the look of the player he was when he made the All NBA team. I mean, it's just one game, obviously, and it's the first game, so there's a long way to go. But yes, and whatever.
very headsy play by Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, all the guys, like everyone all these guys who they just picked up, like they added obviously Cam last year, right? So he was a second half addition, and they added Brunson in the offseason, and both of them so far have paid dividends in just the last 10 seconds.
And don't forget iHeartRadio.
Yeah, Isaiah Hartenstein, another guy having a fantastic game. Mitch has been in foul trouble, so he's come in and he's played really well. That's one thing we need to look out for in overtime, though. Julius Randle has 5 fouls.
Hartenstein was here about 4, probably.
Hartenstein has 2.
Oh, only 2.
Yeah.
Traveled by John Morant. Yes, sir.
They actually called it? Okay.
Yes. RJ tripped him up a little bit there.
He's been he carries so much. I mean, but I guess it's the league now, so let me just be quiet.
Well, the league is brought to you by Travelocity.
I mean, yeah, he does.
It's just terrible basketball. And the flopping needs to stop in this league.
Is that what they just called?
No, they actually called a charge on Julius Randle.
Well, he's just fouled out.
Although there was a flop prior to that. So,
well, this is Jalen Brunson's game too. This is Jalen's game.
This is all Brunson right now. Brunson and probably maybe Cam Reddish, maybe Derrick Rose. You might see a little bit here possibly.
RJ to wake up.
Yeah, we need RJ to definitely take off the no-dos.
I mean, it's crazy. He's still, yeah. I mean,
I'm sorry.
That was a flop in my opinion. But the Steven Adams may be legit. Well, those are retribution calls. Although, yeah, it must have been because he looks like he's going into concussion protocol. Julius is a big dude, so I'm not shocked by that.
Wasn't it a natural basketball play? He just came down, right? I mean, I'm confused.
I don't know. He looked like he bullied him a little bit to be off. And then Ja with this, which should have been an offensive foul just now. He fell down in front of. Oh, nice. We got a strip.
That's not an offensive foul on Randall, but
Morant doesn't get called for that though, right? That's not. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Watch, he'll get an and one here probably for something.
I don't got time for this crap.
No. That's the one thing that the NBA should have cleaned up many moons ago was this favoritism call. There's one thing if you have some momentum activity, obviously, and you can say, the team playing tougher obviously is going to get a benefit of some more calls. But I'm on the shore here. We're going to see some body contact towards the end.
Wow.
And only his athleticism is making somebody think that that's not a foul. That's a foul right there. Boys and girls, that's a foul. And
he hit his head.
He hit his head on the way, the follow through. People are going to look at the contact at the top of the rim where he might have gotten a block, but
he hit him in the head.
Yes, absolutely. But that won't be called because he's Scott Morant.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that was clearly a foul, and they're
Clearly.
gonna do that 2 minute report, whatever, at tomorrow. Say, oh, he should have been called
Yeah.
for a foul.
Now the
Bank
Yankees are
rob,
losing 3-1.
et cetera.
God damn it. Not a good night, right? Well, we'll see what happens with the Knicks. But the Yankees are losing 3-1. So anyone who's wondering what's going on there, they
Well,
are losing.
well, it's always October in Houston when we're playing them for some reason.
Look out.
Well, the Knicks still, I mean, right
Good
now we got to
Lord.
search for who's going to be. I mean, I think Brunson will be the guy that will probably lead the barrage, but he's going to
Yep.
need some help because they're going to clearly. I mean, they got a good coach in Memphis. They're going to look for Brunson.
Are they saying this wasn't a foul? Because you guys are delayed. I'm delayed, so I can't.
I don't know because I don't have the volume up, but
Oh.
I don't know if Tibbs had a challenge. Well,
No, it's still 110, 108. Whatever the thing was, doesn't matter.
we really we need RJ Barrett to be RJ Barrett.
There you go. I'll take that. Nice little,
2 in the paint. iHeart is earning his keep.
yeah. He's been hitting that shot all night. That little baby
they told us.
shot.
Tune into all his stations. iHeartRadio.
They told us that that's what we were getting. So everybody who
Nice. Here we go. Rebound. Smart play here. We just need the Knicks to make high IQ plays.
See, I wish he would pull up and take jump shots. Like,
Who?
oh, nice pass. There we go.
That should be it. Dang.
Damn.
Yeah, I feel like Florida Evans right now. Damn. 110, 110.
Here's the pick. Hands up.
Snake move they got to watch out for. And they're going to call an N1 on that. Oh, my goodness gracious.
That is the second time they've called that weak-ass and one.
And it's weak.
He didn't even touch him.
He didn't touch him.
Oh, this is bull
Now,
crap.
see, this, I don't even know if Tibbs has a challenge. This is when the challenge should go out. I don't. Did he use his challenge yet? I don't think he used his challenge.
Did they do away with it this year?
No. Challenge is still available.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I
know you're a little bit delayed, right?
I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand how that's a foul.
Wow, RJ Barrett can buy a bucket with a free coupon from KFC right now.
Yeah, man, he's having a bad one.
Oh, I think Hartenstein hit him on the wrist. But wow,
But really?
Yeah, I know. Oh, that's what I said. But
it's such a light call.
Yeah.
Look at what just happened the other way too.
A call that you don't have to make.
If we could just get a loose. You know, the thing that I don't like is that you had Cam hot, and now Cam has not seen the ball in a while.
RJ has got to make those bunnies, man. Like, I don't understand.
He shouldn't even be taking a shot right now. This is his worst game as a Knick.
Nah,
this might be his worst game as a Knick.
It's one of them.
No, his worst game it always came against Ben Simmons. So that whatever game. Oh my God, these tap outs, man.
Just let Cam take this. Cam has an opportunity. Score, Cam. Just take it. There you go. Just give it to Cam Reddish today.
Yeah, man, he's playing like that.
Okay, RJ's getting hit out there. I'm sorry, I'm so behind. I apologize.
He is, but they don't call that. Well, you guys know that.
And RJ has to finish with authority too. He looks like he's not finishing through contact. And when we were talking about this, him bluffing some of the shots he takes.
It's just
nice defense. Nice defense. There you go. Nice defense. Come on, Knicks.
So, guys, just to reset, you guys are watching us. We are actually still watching the overtime here.
24-second clock violation.
So we're just watching the overtime that's going on here. The Knicks and Memphis Grizzlies are tied at 112. If you are not watching, which I'm sure you all are, so you're probably following with us. A little crazy. I need to apologize as well. I have a little bit of a cold or something going on. I don't know. So I apologize. If I start hacking my lungs up, that's why. Just want to put that out there as well. But as soon as the game goes final, we'll definitely start talking about it. But we've kind of done a little bit of a reset a few times. And the biggest shock, I think, tonight is probably Cam Reddish. So right now, that's where we're at with it.
Oh, goodness gracious. Jalen Brunson missed from the corner. Rolled in and out. This is a tough game. This is very close. We're down to 57 seconds now. Tied 112-112. Clock down to 9 seconds.
No, I knew it.
Oh goodness gracious! That 3-point. Can we just fix this issue? Knicks. Who do I need to talk to? Tibbs. I mean, who? The front
It
office.
was Tyus Jones too, right? I hate Tyus
Tyus Jones of all people. And Cam Reddish definitely got hit probably on that shot. He didn't short on that, but this might be the game here. 115-112. Memphis, 28 seconds. On the clock, 10 on the shot clock. Ja Morant being guarded by Evan Fournier. Makes him give up the ball, actually, on the double team. Hart closing out.
Look at Ty doing the play-by-play.
Mm-hmm.
Got to get that rebound.
That's game.
That's game.
That's game. When you have Hartenstein up top, that's going to happen.
Yeah. If the one knock, if you want to say about him, is the actual, lateral quickness on the perimeter. That's better for Mitchell Robinson to be in on those situations. But the Knicks had a foul to give clearly because now they got possession again. They had to take it out of bounds, and they can't catch Ja Morant. He's running around like he's the road runner and the Wile E. Coyote's got acme on.
All right.
Yeah. Well, if it all holds up, I mean, Memphis might hit these 2 free throws, but it looks like the Knicks are going to go down by 5.
Freaking Tyus Jones.
Tyus Jones, and just a bad concept by Tibbs that's been going on for a long time, paying more attention to the paint. The paint is not to be guarded at this rate when.
And that's part of it, but
the league is prolific at 3-point shooting. If you stay on the 3-point shooters, then you're letting them just score 2s, or you're allowing your center to do what he is getting paid to do, which is block shots. But the minute you collapse, he missed the foul shot though. So and Mitchell Robinson is being checked in for Hart.
I actually turned off the game. I figured it was over. Is it?
Tyus Jones missed a free throw shot.
No, he has to miss the second one though, or else it is over.
Yeah. Unless they get a timeout and a quick lucky shot. You never know. People foul.
Oh, crap. He missed. They don't have timeouts?
No.
They do.
Yeah. Oh, where?
All right.
They have one timeout.
Here we go again.
Here we are again.
Here we are again, guys.
Yeah, we get a double discount double take. Courtesy of Steve Novak.
Will lightning strike twice? I don't know. Will lightning strike twice tonight?
Hey, Cam Reddish. I don't know if this is going to Cam. It's probably Evan Fournier. They're going to probably play Cam, I guess.
I would give it to. I don't know.
Let Brunson decide.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let him be 4 seconds even. So
whatever they're going to do, just let Brunson
decide.
Let it be Jalen. It better not be RJ.
RJ's going to get it. Love the Broadway.
If RJ is open, he's going to get the shot.
He should. Yes, he should take it. Absolutely.
That's what it is. If he's open, he's going to get the shot.
Well, let me tell you. Well, I'm going to believe that he's going to make a smart play if he does get the ball. Let me tell you, Cam Reddish looks like he wants to be a Knick tonight. Well, he at least wants to be a Laker, one of the two. He wants to get traded. Might want to get out of here. Who knows? I think it's going to the Frenchman. That's where I think the play is being.
Well, that's who. I mean, it's probably designed for him always, but I mean, how much? There's 4 seconds. It's got to be quick. It can't be. It can't take that long.
Yeah, it can't. Yeah, it has to be a quick strike. If you're going to take a 2, it has to be even quicker than that. Because a 2 only makes sense if you're really heading towards the paint.
All right, let's see. Oh, they fouled. Yo, this guy's trying to kill people. What is wrong with this dude?
Who?
Ja.
Oh. Yeah, but if somebody did it to him, they'd be fired.
Be a flagrant 5.
A flagrant foul, tossed out the game, fine, year suspension.
2 shots the ball, and yes,
Yeah.
a week suspension.
You know what I never understand about this current league? You know, we had the Michael Jordan favoritism. You know, SARS always got the benefit of certain calls. It's these guys who've not accomplished anything that are getting these calls that just kill me.
Well, I mean, he's a young star. So what happened? I totally missed the shot.
It was Evan in the corner on a pump fake, and he missed. So
Okay.
game's over.
All right. So game over. Knicks fought hard. I have to say they did. They fought hard. They were down at by 1 point, like you said, was what, 15, 17?
17, I believe, yeah.
17. So they fought hard and they came back. They tied it, went to overtime. But if you really look at the box score, if you really followed the game, it really came down to RJ Barrett just not shooting well.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the main. If he hits just 3 more shots, they probably win the game. So he had a bad game. It's fine. It happens. I'm not going to freak out about it.
Mm-hmm.
Body language didn't look too good tonight, though, either. That's one of the things I think that I was a little surprised at. He looked like he was, I don't want to say lost, but not, at least in the first half, he didn't look like he was that into the game. I thought the second half he played a little better. But maybe he feels a little pressure now with the contract. I don't know. It's possible that's gotten, you wouldn't think that because it's not his personality.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it did. Maybe it got to him tonight, and that's why he played like this. But historically, he starts slow. So,
yeah, I think it's a product of who he's been pretty much as a Knick. You kind of see sometimes like he's come out, but he's come out and the things he's worked on during the summer, you'd see him overly try to show he worked on them. And this just seemed like someone, I mean, I wouldn't think the contract would be pressure, but it does remind me of someone who feels pressure, like the pressure that you like. But that's usually, I would think you'd feel it in MSG, like when you're in the garden and you're stinking it up a little bit and now all of a sudden your whole game collapses. But on the road against, you know, one of your classmates, so to say, you would have thought that he would have definitely been a little bit more engaged. He looked like he was also not physically good. He looked like he was, I mean, he's not like, you know, a yoga instructor anytime soon, but he didn't look flexible at all. He just looked like he was very rigid in his movements. And Eric, I made him joke. I said it must be those ugly sneakers he was wearing, but something just,
yeah, man, those were really yellow.
Idiots.
What was that?
Those were the Butter 3000s. That's what they were.
Puma, man. That's why I don't mess with no Puma, bro.
the cat on that Puma sneaker left off today.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Hey, man, if they were paying you money to endorse there, you would wear them.
I'm taking less to take this. I can't do it. I'm gonna pull a Tim Hardaway Jr. I'll take less to go with Jordan Brand. All right. I'm not rocking no Pumas, man. No offense to Clyde, but I'm not wearing no Pumas.
Yeah, so that's probably, I mean, obviously I think that was probably the biggest first impression we'll take from tonight. Yeah. The second one is, though, they fought. I mean, they did fight. They fought hard. They could have just, when they got down, they could have just said, screw it, it's the first game, we'll just take the L, and they didn't. They fought back, so they played well. Julius Randle looked, like we said before, looked like his old self, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
He's definitely the thing we noticed, and like Fred Katz did an article on The Athletic, and I shared it with you guys, and Ty, you brought it up before we came on, that he watched a lot of European basketball, and you can see now the dribble handoffs are a little bit faster, smoother. He's not waiting so long when he gets the ball. He's making decisions much quicker, and that's really what you need to do before the defense can set. So he had a couple really nice slip passes tonight. I remember one to RJ that he had that was beautiful. Brunson was good, very good. He showed leadership. He finished with 15 and 9, 15 points and 6 rebounds, so he had a good game. He also didn't shoot so great.
Yeah,
he only
I
shot
think foul trouble got to him a little bit. It kind of took him out of his game a little bit.
So I mean, but that's good. I like the 9 assists, definitely. That was fantastic. And the other thing I like, 0 turnovers. He didn't have any turnovers.
Oh, that's really good. I didn't really know that.
Yeah, so that's when it's your floor general, the point guard, 0 turnovers is always the best thing. And even Julius only had 3, so.
I think the thing that the Knicks did tonight, whether people, the pundits are going to say what they're going to say, but I think the thing is that they showed they belong in the conversation of being a competitive team this year. most people felt like, we've heard that Ben Sanity said that with his insanity that we were going to get rolled tonight. Well, we didn't roll. We might took a photo roll, but we didn't get rolled. So, when looking at that, the Knicks showed that they actually have some talent. The defense wasn't bad. I mean, imagine if the defense was up to the par of what it was playing during the preseason, then maybe we could actually squeak out this game. I mean, credit that Memphis are missing a couple of their pieces, so we got to allow for that also. But it's the team they rolled out. The Knicks showed a lot of fight and fortitude. So, we're in a good conversation still. I mean, I like this showing, win or lose. It's always about the effort in New York and showing that you actually give a damn. And I think they showed that tonight.
I agree. I agree with everything you said. That's 100%. Craig, what were your impressions?
I don't necessarily don't care about moral victories, but I guess I can take it tonight. I mean, they play horribly in the first half of them, give or take. And typically, with respect to their game in the third quarter is when they usually let go, right? But the third quarter is when they fought. Fourth quarter, obviously, they were able to take the lead. Biggest impression, I was going to say Cam. I mean, I can say Randall. That's the obvious one. It's too easy. I can say Jalen. That's very easy. But I was going to say Cam. Like, he really came out and played well. He redeemed himself to that steal that he gave up, and I mean not the turnover he had in the first quarter. He got a rebound, and who was it? Tyus Jones.
Yeah, that was bad.
I wanted to throw myself out the window after watching that. But then he redeemed himself with those couple threes. So I want to say Cam. Hopefully he plays well enough to get himself traded by the trade deadline. and no offense, but I'm gonna give it to Cam. He played really well. And that little thing he had going on back and forth, which I assume was Ja's dad, I'll take, because Ja's dad is very annoying. But other than that, I mean, yeah, Cam Reddish.
Yeah,
I'll tip my hat to him.
Yeah, 22 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 steals. That's a good sign.
That's what he's supposed to be. Right?
Yeah. I mean, and it was the variety of shots for me too. Like, he wasn't just hitting threes; he was driving to the bucket, and he's got like really long arms.
Twitchy.
So he's able to stretch and make some shots that a lot of guys can't make. So this is the Cam Reddish that I watched the high school tapes of, right? Like, this is the kid that before he went to Duke, if you watched him, you're like, wow, he has a lot of talent.
Oh,
and this is what everyone talks about. And he played hard tonight, I have to say. Like, my thing with him is he looks like he's going through the motions. And tonight I feel like that was swapped. I felt like RJ was the one who looked more like he's going through the motions, and Cam was the one playing the way RJ normally does. So it's just the first game.
Yeah.
But again, this is the adage on the road, and I said this before, is play close and then try to win in the end. And that's what they did. They had
it's hard to win on the road in the NBA. So especially in a place like Memphis. But I mean,
yeah, they won what, 50? How many games did they win last year? 50 what?
50.
I think about 52. They won the 50 club, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they won a lot of games last year. I know that. So
I think the moral thing we could also take away from this, and I'm like Craig, I don't like doing the moral victory thing. But however, if we don't make certain mistakes also, like a lot of these, if you cut down on one or two different moves, like bad plays or broken plays, you can win this game. So once you clean up, if you don't have that slow start in the first half, that messy start in the first half, and that could be a lot of them being not familiar with each other in battle. They practice together, but it's different when you're playing against a real opponent. So, if you take that first half and tweak a couple things here or there, then we could end up winning this game, maybe regulation. So, it's it's positives to take from this game, even though we took the L.
No, go ahead, Craig.
It's a quick thing. That three that Jalen missed when it went in out, that would have probably sealed it. Yeah. But that's just how the game works. But I'm sorry, go ahead, Eric.
No, that's fine. I forgot what I was going to go with it anyway.
I should have went. Sorry.
No. Oh, they won 56 games last year.
Ooh.
So yeah, so it's a
tough play. No, too. A lot of them without Ja.
Yeah, they were 20-5 without Ja last year.
Wow.
And they won 30 games at home. So
wow.
Yeah,
their coach is very good. He's a good coach.
Yeah, their coach is fantastic. Yeah, and and they're like we said, they're a good team. Ja's a superstar no matter how you feel about him personally. He's a superstar.
Definitely.
Dynamic player. We don't have a guy like him. We just don't. It's sad to say, but we don't. So, The Knicks are going to have to win games like this. I feel like Tibbs picked was good tonight with the rotation.
I agree.
I do. I feel like he made good decisions with the rotation. I feel like he was smart at taking certain guys out when he did. I thought at one point, it was right before, I think it was the end of the third, beginning of the fourth. It might have been middle of the fourth, where when Cam came back in, I thought Cam was in the game and he brought RJ back. I thought he was subbing RJ for Cam, and I was like, what is he doing? But he didn't. Then that's a good thing. He let them play together. So they ended the game playing together. So that was good. Obviously, they have familiarity with each other, so it probably helps as well there that they played a little bit together tonight. And even though RJ didn't have a good offensive game, Ty, I know you said like you thought his defense was a little weak, but like I said, the stats say otherwise. So I agree with you. I feel like they kept getting beat on the pick and roll, and RJ kept getting caught behind it. And then that's when Hartenstein or Mitchell Hartenstein would drop back. And that's when Ja kept hitting those floaters. It was the same type thing Trae Young did in the playoffs a few years ago. It was the exact same play they kept running. So that was a little disappointing that they couldn't adjust to stop that. I wish they would have trapped him a little more, made him give up the ball.
You saw it a little bit when Julius played. When Julius came out for the pick, Julius did trap him. He actually stayed. Whereas with Hartenstein, once again we go back to the rim protection. It's like, why back off? If anything, you want to push him out to the rim. He's not a great 3-point shooter at all. So where he's going to kill you is inside. So why not really nudge him to an area on the floor that's on the perimeter and make him reset the offense, if anything? And that's what Julius did. And you saw RJ was able to come and cherry pick him from behind and go with the steal. But Tibbs sometimes, and I have really no complaints about him tonight per se, but it's just little tweaks of the defense. I'm like, you're a defensive dude. There should be those things you see differently, like the closeouts on the threes and once again trapping the actual pick and roll a little bit better than giving that space. That empty space for guys who got float games is just ridiculous.
It's true. It's like it's no man's land in basketball. That's what it is. And then you can either take the floater, you could take the baby jumper, whatever you want to do in that little mid-range area, free throw line extended, I guess, right there. You can kind of take the shot there, and the good players are going to make those. Yep. So defensively, the Knicks were very good tonight. They held the Grizzlies to 39% shooting, 34 from three. The problem was the Knicks didn't hit their threes. So they were 9 for 37, only 24%. So that's going to be an issue with this team, I think. And that's why it's imperative for Barrett to hit the three. And he was bad tonight. That's really, if you look at everyone, as much as I love him, he had 8 rebounds, he had 3 assists. He only had a couple turnovers. Like I thought he played hard on defense because Ja's a tough cover anyway. So I thought he was at least trying on defense, but it really was his inability to make shots tonight that really cost them. Not just him, but also our friend and Ty's favorite player in the world, of course. I'm talking about Emmanuel Quickly, who wow. Yeah, man, I don't know what to say about this guy right now. I mean, I'm not going to freak out. It's one game, but the preseason, he didn't look too great either.
I think it's one game for me.
And he's now it seems like it's becoming a pattern. I don't know. I don't think he's really, and this is what I said last year when we were talking at the end of the year and everyone's like, oh, I think he can play point guard.
No.
I don't know. Let him be your scoring guard off the bench. If that's what you want him to be, because when he has to play point guard, he thinks too much and he's trying to get guys involved and he's just not natural at it. It's not what he does well. So if you want him to be, if you're in your mind, if you're like, okay, we need someone for instant offense, that's kind of his best role when he doesn't have those restrictions or those, oh, we want you to initiate the offense. I mean, Derrick Rose wasn't good tonight either, so I can't really pick on just Quickly. But with Rose, I know what I'm getting.
Exactly.
Right? You know what you're getting all the time with Derrick Rose.
And Quickly should have been the first guy off the bench. I'm sorry. That annoyed me to no end that he was the first guard off the bench.
Who Quickly was, you said?
Yeah, Quickly was.
He was first guard off the bench.
I think the thing with Emmanuel, zero Q as I call it now, until he earns something better to be called. Zero Q. The one thing that kind of gets me a little annoyed about Knicks fans who are like got the pom-poms and cheering for this guy. This guy's not efficient. It's the difference if this dude is hitting shots like he's Quentin Grimes. You go, oh, when this dude gets lit, this guy is a bad shot taker, and he's also not a really good shooter. It's a difference if you're like killing it like that. Like really, Quentin Grimes should be the first guy off the bench if you're going to put a guard off the bench now when he gets healthy, because this guy's going to get you buckets. He's going to hit you shots. He's capable of doing that. He might not be capable of the bounce game as much. We haven't seen it, I should say, yet. But Quickly has proven time and time again that he puts the streak that you get in your underwear that you don't. That's the kind of streak we're on right now.
The skid marks?
The skid mark streak, man. This dude is bad.
Oh, man.
He is bad right now. I don't care. I know preseason people say, "Oh, it's just preseason." I'm tough on about routine and patterns, and I've been saying it for the minute. With the patterns this guy's been doing during the preseason, he should have been benched during preseason. Those shot selections. Don't give me a game where, Manuel shot. He was 7 for 9. Yeah, okay, he was 7 for 9, but did he help the team? No. Did his play impact winning? No. What did he do good? He called his own number, but he didn't get Obi involved. He didn't get Cam Reddish involved. There's times, Cam has his own issues, don't get me wrong, but there was times where you watched him and Cam on the court, and Cam was like, look, I'm just going to go in the locker. I might touch the ball in the locker quick, and I'll touch it on the floor Quickly, because he's been skid marked. So I can tell you, it's the wrong kind of streak, bro. Skid mark.
Yeah, interesting stat too from tonight. Reddish scored 22 points on 15 field goal attempts. RJ, Quickly, Toppin, and Derrick Rose combined scored 20 points on 35 field goal attempts.
Wow.
So yeah, that's kind of where the game was lost. Obi was the next guy I was going to bring up, and just because it's going to be the same thing for him here. I as much as I love the guy, I don't think he's going to be here for the long term. And it sucks because he's the one player that to me is where the NBA is going, that we have this athletic big guy who can just literally take your heart out with some of the dunks he does and just how his energy. But like as long as Randall is here and if Randall's playing like this, there's no place for Obi unless they play him at center. And I don't think Tibbs will ever do that. So it's just now to the point where I have a feeling we might get a top-in Quickly package of some sort if a trade comes up where those two guys are going somewhere, because maybe for a shooting guard, I don't know, but it's to me that's what I see. Jesse's in the room. There we go. That's what I see. So that's just what I see with those two guys. I don't know where else we could go with Obi. I mean, obviously it's just one game, but it's kind of a trend. When Randall plays well, Obi doesn't play. I
think the somewhat of a solution. Say, I mean, we know Randall's making the money. And if he plays great, he's not going anywhere. I agree with you totally on that. Here's how you could benefit Obi a little bit more. Say we know they're not going to start together, but say Obi's a great weapon. I mean, if you had a 6-man like Obi, you're not really mad also. He could also be instant offense. The problem with Obi is that now, as much as we fixed a starting point guard position, I know people are going to give me Derrick Rose, which is fine. I love D Rose. D Rose has never been a point guard. He's never been a point guard. He's been an athletic guard. But he's never been a point guard. We saw that tonight. He couldn't get no one started in an offense because that's not ever what he's been able to do. He's always been a prolific, great scorer. So when you look at someone like him, there's no way that he can get Obi involved naturally. He should, because Obi's a great weapon. The Knicks really need a backup point guard. They need maybe like a Tyus Jones backup point guard to actually get the rest of the. I know it's like we can never get the guard situation right, because when you look at a guy like Quickly, he's redundant. He's a Dollar Tree minus 50% coupon of a Derrick Rose. That's where he is now. So he's not going to get an offense involved. you have a lot of power on that bench when you look at it. I trust Deuce McBride to be the point guard.
Yeah, Jesse just said that same thing.
Yeah, well, cuz agree with you. I would take Deuce McBride as a backup point guard because he does look to facilitate the ball. Quickly right now, I'm telling you, 0Q, it's not good. And you can't ultimately maximize Obi, maximize Cam, maximize Grimes off the bench, which should be potent. Remember, we've discussed off air about how the bench has looked raggedy this year, which should not look raggedy. It's been our greatest strength. But the reason why it's not working is because you have guys that are so lit, they're calling their own number, and then they're not efficient. Rose shouldn't be getting 35 minutes. Rose should be an 18-minute at most kind of player. And the second guy, the guy who's backing up Brunson, should be at least of his ilk or incapable of running a second unit. I wouldn't trust Quickly. I wouldn't trust him to run to the 7-Eleven right now. I wouldn't trust him.
Yeah, no, he's Quickly right now. But like I said, I think I'm a proponent of letting guys be who they are, right? If a guy is a scorer, then let him score. That's what he does. Stop trying to make him into something he's not. He's not a natural point guard. I don't care how much he wants to be one. I don't care how much he says, oh, I watch tape and I'm watching tape all the time, and he must be watching porn because I don't know if he's watching basketball. I don't
duct tape porn.
I have no idea what he's watching because I don't see improvement. Like I saw some at the end of last year. I kind of saw what you guys were saying. These games don't matter that much really, and they're just kind of going. Other teams are kind of just playing out the season, so like. Their efforts like half-assed and things like that. So when it matters, like now you're starting a season, and he just, again, I want him to be. I like him as a guy. He seems like a really good kid. So I like him. He wants to be better. He wants to get better. I love players like that. I love players who want to be the best they could be.
Absolutely.
But it's on the coach. It has to be on the coaches to go and say to him, look, this is not who you are. We need you to be a guy who can come off the bench, score some points, some instant offense. Don't be jacking up 30-foot threes all the time. Drive to the basket, do your floater shot that when you were a rookie, you took like half the time. And that's what everyone loved about you because you were taking this floater from like the free throw line and we're going all the time. Like why now you're just this guy who dribble, hand off, dribble, jack up a crazy shot. Like that's what he is now. That's all he does.
He shot that ball so high, I needed a parachute tonight.
The guy who was guarding him, I think was like a big man. I think he was like 6'10", and he took the shot anyway. He tried to like loft it over his head. I'm like, what are you doing?
Needed a parachute. It was a parachute ball because it was just the most ridiculous. Like I said, I look at a guy like we often talk about like a guy like Steph is special, and this is not to discredit Stephen Curry because he's absolutely phenomenal. But guys like that ruin the game, too, because there's guys that believe they can do that. And this guy's an anomaly. I've been watching basketball for goodness gracious, showing my age, but I've been watching basketball for a very long time. I've seen one Steph Curry in over 40 years of watching this game. One Steph Curry. He's an anomaly. You don't see these guys.
Right.
You see one Shaq, you see one MJ. Steph is the level of a guy that you just cannot rep. Larry Bird was the best shooter I've saw. And then this guy comes along and he shoots anywhere he wants in the gym. Come on.
And
Stop replicating that or trying to duplicate that because you're never going to shoot like him. Those shots are as great as Trae Young is.
Yeah, Trae Young can do it. Not like Steph.
But not like Steph. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's like, if you're going, he's the Dollar Tree version. He's the real Dollar Tree version.
Yeah, he's the closest thing.
Yeah.
That we've had.
That you can throw that shot and say he might just just as well make that shot, as opposed to when going to Quickly is just he's not a great shooter. That's what drives me nuts. Towards the end of last season, we saw him round his game. That was the one key thing about it. It was like you're seeing him, he was dishing. He was the bar cloud, dishing and swishing. And he just seemed like he played with better poise. Even though it was against the lesser teams, it seemed like he was like, he had a moment that he was like, I'm learning how to play the game. It's like now we come into preseason and he's like, nah, scrap all that. I'm the best shooter in the gym. And you're not. The best shooter is probably, I mean, it's Evan Fournier. I'm going to give him first, and Grimes, because Grimes just hasn't proven it yet. But those are the only dudes you want shooting threes on this whole Knicks squad.
And I guess Cam.
Well, now tonight Cam said
Cam could shoot. No, he always could shoot. So.
yeah, he's good. Cam is the best talent on the Knicks. Let's just throw it right out there. When you want to talk about talent base, if he ever maximized it, tonight would be a glimmer of what he could do because his whole issue has always been in the air. Do you are in here?
Yeah, I mean you see it. He's smooth.
Do you want it? Do you want it? How bad you want it? Because the skill set we saw tonight, he did that baseline move where he spun. I'm like, how's that dude even getting? And he still got the shot off. So physically, the gifts are there. The talent level is there. I always question. I tell you, I think his IQ is a little low to a degree with certain things, but the physical talents is definitely there. It's just the motor and the heart, or whatever you want to call it.
Right. Like now, the thing with him is he'd have games like this, and then the next game he'll have like 2 points and do nothing. So, you know, those kinds of guys. That's what I say. Like you said, you have to really want it.
Yeah.
And that's been his issue. He's never been the type to string consistent performances together and prove that he deserves to have been a lottery pick. Hey, he was a lottery pick. So
10th pick, I believe.
Yeah, he was the 10th overall pick. So it's been very but again, tonight he was fantastic. We really can't say anything bad about him. Ev was decent.
I thought his defense wasn't too bad tonight, as you know, for being that he can't defend like that. I thought he at least you showed the effort. He showed the effort, I should say, on trying to defend someone. You know, he is what he is. I mean, I think he probably would be better served coming off the bench if. But once again, I go back to the same question.
Sorry, guys.
That's okay. Who's going to get the balance of the floor? If you put Ev on the bench, how are you maximizing a guy like Ev and maximizing a Cam and an Obi when you got Rose and IQ being the heads of your team as far as being able to orchestrate an offense? I mean, Derrick Rose tonight, man. I'm a big Rose fan. But when he hit Steven Adams, that was just – I'm like, him and IQ talked at the top of the key. So I'm like, oh, well, they're going to run something. IQ said, no, just hit Steven Adams. That's all you got to do. Hit Steven Adams in the face. We're going to go back and play defense. Because if that wasn't the worst ran half-court execution of the game, it's like, what were you doing? No one knew where they were going. They like had a meeting in the boys' room and then went and threw the ball away. It's like, start at the top of the key and now start orchestrating and finding out where your shooters are, where your post guy is, and then play that way. But you can't play Emmanuel off the shooting guard because I would love to know what his percentage is now, what he's shooting. It's got to be abysmal.
After today, 0%. He didn't hit a shot. So he's shooting a big fat 0%. One of the biggest plays in the game tonight was the Ja Morant block on Brunson. And through the miracles of modern technology, I'm going to show now. Let's show it again. I'll show from the beginning. Here we go. Not only does he foul him, that's a goaltend, fellas.
Look at that. Follow through, too, on the back of the head.
That's a goaltend, fellas, as well.
Yep.
All hits the backboard first. Yep.
Oh, wow. And how did this ref in the corner here miss that?
So
there's no way you missed that. I'm sorry. There's no way he got swallowed up.
I mean, that's blatantly bad.
And why didn't Tips challenge this? This is my thing. I'm like, why are there no challenges on that? Did he use this challenge? I can't recall if he used it at some point when I might have stepped away. I don't think he used the challenge.
So, Gil, I think it was. Brunson had position and Morant just drove into him. I guess if they didn't call it, I wouldn't have been surprised as well because it's his gym. So a lot of times, they don't. But I thought it was an offensive foul. I definitely was. And like I just showed that clip, that should have been a goaltend and a foul. I mean, he hit him in his head with his body. That's the hand is part of the ball, not your head is not part of the ball. Right? So he hit him in the head and then he goaltended. It should have been not only a foul, it should have been and one. They should have been up 3 or had the ability to go up 3 on that play.
I think the thing with the Ja Morant charge, I think people are going to look at the athleticism that he uses, and he kind of contorted his body. So if you're playing it from the top of how he contorts, you're like, well, it looked like Brunson didn't get full impact. But the problem is that he leaked. He still followed through on the bottom and knocked him through. But I can see where the confusion might be, where his contortion made it seem like, well, did he get full impact? Yeah, he didn't run directly into him, but he still ran him over. That's the whole thing. So that's what in my opinion, not because I'm a Knicks fan, I just think it's a charge, no matter which way you look at it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I wouldn't have been surprised if they didn't call it.
Yeah, me either.
Like, he hit the shot too, which is still amazing that he hit the shot. But
well, he had a phantom foul call that he got away with, in that
two of them.
Yeah, so it's like, come on, he got the benefit. He's going to get the benefit. And you're playing against the Knicks. Everybody gets the benefit against the Knicks. I don't care who you are. It's not New York bias. Carmelo Anthony got assault charges right in New York. That's on film, and they never gave that to the foul ball.
I mean, when the refs were like, "You're hard to officiate," I was like, "What do you mean?
What's that supposed to mean?
What does that even mean? That's your job. Your job is to officiate. What do you mean you're hard to officiate? Was Michael Jordan hard to officiate? He got to the line all the damn time.
Not at all, man.
That's just crazy. Like,
that's almost the same thing like they did with Shaq. We don't know how to. Okay, well, he's the biggest dude in the court. He's going to make people fly, but Melo, it was just bad. It was
LeBron, he's not hard to officiate. He's Shaq essentially. He's Karl Malone and Shaq on camp, all rolled into one. And he can do what he like. It's just
look at a guy like Luka. Luka's not hard, and Luka's of the ilk of like a Carmelo Bill wise, because he's a big stocky dude. I don't see them saying, "Oh, I don't know how we can."
Hold on now.
Call cut fouls on Luka.
Let's not get all indignant, Melo.
Julius's issue is that Julius is just so flagrant with his fouls.
He's too animated. Yeah,
I'm hitting everybody.
He's like, Arr! He's like, he's kind of like Cookie Monster. Arr! This kind
I'll give Julius credit for all that. He gives his money worth. When he goes in, he's brutalizing. I wish it was more with tact how he did it.
I agree.
Because it would be awesome to watch him just physically say, I'm going to beat you the hell up every time I get in the paint. And the refs may not call it if he did it discreetly. The problem is with Julius is just like, nah. I'm just going to hit everybody like he's in a bar fight. That's part of the problem with Julius.
Yeah. That's one of the things about him. I've always been like, he goes too fast sometimes. I'm like, slow down. Yeah. Like, just gather yourself. Slow down.
I'm in the house literally going like this. Slow down. Like, to my wife's like, he can't hear you. And I'm like, all right.
I'm in my house. I'm like, I say it a little different language, but I didn't talk.
I'm like, slow down. It's like talking to a toddler. Slow down. You can do it, buddy. You got it. You're
going to get the call. I don't know. He seems sped up in his mind, I think, about he knows what he wants to do, but he's also allowing the defense to know what he's going to do too. Because he's so, like I said, he's flagrant in a lot of ways in his moves. So,
I mean, it was nice to see tonight. He was, like I said, a little more under control.
I liked him tonight.
Yeah, playing much more within himself, playing within the speed of the game, not trying to force things. He was very
nice. That tip dunk was nice. He had too.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
I didn't see it coming at all.
No.
He's in shape. I mean, he's never not been in shape, but he's in awesome shape right now. So it's like he's capable of probably playing a lot of minutes. And the one thing that I thought was kind of key tonight that I liked about what we saw all of the last 3 years with him, he didn't argue with the refs as much.
I didn't even notice that.
Point. He went down the court even when that one foul where he knew he just felt like he wasn't guilty. He asked the bench to rewind and watch, and they said no, it was bad. There would have been a time he would have berated, followed the referee into the locker room. He would have just went completely ballistic. But he played inside of his emotions, and I think that's what we're seeing from him is that he's playing inside of his emotions a lot better compared to. He really has to because after last year, I think he got, the Band-Aid was pulled back and he sort of bullied him. It wasn't good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously last year was a sobering experience for him, and we know how ugly it got with the fans.
Yeah.
So it was a bad year for him. But I mean, if he plays like this and continues to play like this, he can help. So
whatever he did last year, if he plays like this.
Yeah, like the fan, we're a very forgiving fan base. So if he starts playing well and they start winning, you know, the other guy tonight, I want to bring up quickly was Mitchell Robinson. I missed, so I must have missed some of these fouls because I didn't realize he even had that many. Honestly, like I didn't realize it. I'm watching the game. I'm like, oh crap, he has like 3 now. I'm like, I didn't miss what happened to the first 2, and I was watching the game. It's not like I wasn't paying attention. Some of those to me were reputation fouls. Like
Yeah,
he doesn't have the best reputation still.
yeah.
So some of those to me, I was kind of like, yeah, that really wasn't a foul, but
Some of them were very cheap fouls. Some of them were, it goes back to the same thing. This guy's a very good shot blocker. I mean, I've said it to you guys off camera. I said that I believe he can be. If he can replicate what he did during preseason consistently, he's going to be in the candidate for the defensive player of the year because the offensive rebounds he gets those. He just needs to calm down a little bit because, like you said, his reputation is that he fouls out, and I think you're starting to see a little bit more of that.
yeah, I mean, again, it's one game, and I know he's going to have games where he just completely dominates the paint, and the Knicks win games because of his presence, because that's really what they signed him for.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, do you guys think that we might see him and Hartenstein play together at all? Craig, what do you think? Do you think we might see them play together?
I hope so. I'm praying for it because the one thing I love about Hartenstein is Hartenstein will be whatever.
It's fine. It doesn't matter.
He is always looking for people to cut. Always. Yeah. And on a percentage scale, he probably, even through the first couple preseason games and through this game, he probably 1%, 2% of the players are actually cutting. But he's always looking for players to cut. And if they can be on the floor together, some 4 and 5 pick and roll, I don't want to get myself excited, but like that'd be something to marvel at. And he can hit the cutters. And to Mitchell's credit, he's always trying to cut, moving to the basket. So I would love to see that. Yeah, I hope Tibbs does it. I mean, I hope that there's not an injury where he's forced to do it, but I mean, if that's the end result, yeah, I would like to see it.
That pass to Obi was nice.
It was a beautiful pass.
Man, where's this guy been?
I don't think the Knicks are ready. Like, I think Brunson is ready for him, right? Brunson, he may be the only player who's cerebral enough to look for those passes, but I don't think the rest of the team is, and that's scary to me. Obi maybe, right?
We need a Dougie McBuckets, is what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, he definitely he's talked about how he's studied like Jokic and how he studies how these guys play, and so he wants to be that kind of player. And I mean, those guys can only help. So I'm happy that he's here. I've been a fan of his. I remember when he was coming out, I wanted the Knicks to draft him. So he was one of the guys I had marked off on my European list. I always have a list of Europeans, and he was one of the guys that I had marked off. So I wanted, and the fact that he's here now is pretty awesome.
I think he's going to definitely get minutes because he's like a Joakim Noah for
Tibbs.
For Tibbs. So he's going to get minutes.
I would have been happy if they didn't sign Mitchell. Just kept let that be the signing.
Yeah, but then they would have needed someone else.
I know.
What, you wanted Taj back? You want them to sign Taj back?
Yeah, hit those threes, man.
Isn't he in Washington now?
He is in DC, yeah.
Yeah, he's in Washington.
So. Sims could have been your backup.
Sims could have been.
My buddy Steve, the Mavs fan, coming into
yeah,
It should be up 19. Who they playing tonight?
Phoenix.
In Phoenix.
Phoenix.
They need to destroy Detroit on Friday though. They have to come out and show a little frustration and destroy Detroit.
I think they will.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of where I was going next.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. You brought it up, so that's cool. It's cool. But obviously, our next game is in Detroit on Friday, or at home.
It's at home. Yep.
It's at the Garden, so it's the home opener. No. I was thinking maybe I could get tickets. I don't know if I can, but we'll see. And I don't know how I'm going to be feeling by then, so I shouldn't even say that. But yeah, it should. I mean, they played Detroit in the preseason, right? So they've already played them recently. So hopefully they come out and if they give the same effort they gave tonight, just hit more shots, I think they'll wind up winning the game. So
that's a Mitchell Robinson game. I feel like that's a game where you can dominate.
I hope so.
They don't need him.
I want them to shoot at least 45% for the game. I mean, they shot, like I said, today they shot like crap. So, and they almost won.
Yeah.
They shot 40% today. So I mean, you up that 5%, specifically Barrett. Yeah, Steve, he was. Brunson was good tonight.
Brunson's getting. I don't think he's the guy you're ever gonna have to worry about. He's one of those guards that is just gonna be, even if he wasn't on the Knicks, I think he would flourish wherever he would go. I don't think he's gonna be a problem.
No, I mean even in the first half, he had the foul trouble. And he clanked like his first 3 shots. That's just like, okay, I'm not worried about that. It was everybody else I was worried about.
He's an old school player, right? Like you saw him in the post a few times, posting guys up, and it's just awesome. I love watching guys who can do that still. So that's such a lost art in the game. No one really does it anymore. So when you watch a guy like Brunson get down there, especially because he's a guard, he's a point guard. He's not a big guy, and he's still doing it. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, no, he's awesome.
And he got smart when his shot wasn't falling. He went inside, like he worked his way inside to try and get himself going. And that's an old adage in basketball. Like they used to always say, try to make a few layups. If your shot's not going, see the ball going in the basket, and then it's weird how that actually makes the shots start to fall, because it does.
I think that was something that was missing from RJ tonight, was that ability to use that. Brunson's not scared to be the big kid. That's the thing. He's not scared to say, you know what, my advantage is right here. He's like DeRozan in a lot of ways. And I'm not saying the game's mirror, but DeRozan's like, look, I don't hit 3-pointers. But I'm going to kill you with what I'm great at, and I'm great at the mid-range game. So guys like are afraid to be that mid-range assassin, or that, you're going down to the paint like an old school guy. Well,
that's the game.
Why do you care how I'm scoring it, If my numbers are efficient, why do you care where I'm scoring it? I don't totally trust that these analytic thoughts that this shot is the better shot. 15 points is 15 points. I don't care what part of the league you're in. And if it's an efficient 15 points,
I agree. I totally agree with that. You don't need to hit threes. Like Dwayne Wade was not a good 3-point shooter, right? But he was one of the greatest players to ever play the game. So
not hitting 3-point shots. That's all I can tell you.
Right.
I got 6, not hitting 3-pointers. LeBron got 4, not hitting 3-pointers. Must I keep going on?
No.
Guys who are not great. Kawhi Leonard's not a great 3-point. He's got 2. Like I tell, once again, I go back to Steph Curry.
You ruined the game. No, I mean that's hyperbolic. But
yeah.
Sorry.
I think he ruined it for the casual fundamentals of basketball, because people like don't want to go and do no layups anymore. Look at that shot Rose pulled today. We're going to go back to Derrick Rose a little bit.
The first one,
that was a terrible shot. That transition.
We got it blocked.
No, he took a 3.
That when they were down they were almost tied. The game was tied, and he went down and he just pulled up this ridiculous shot. It's not his shot. He can make it. The play was to go to the hole and do an and one, or you're a hooper. You've always been a penetrating guard. Why settle for that shot to bail out the defense? Now all of a sudden that carom's down there in transition. You can't get back. Now your team is playing 4-on-5. Come on. That's a bad shot.
It wasn't a good shot. And apparently there were a lot of those tonight, because they only hit 40%. So there were a lot of bad shots. But actually, some of them were good. They just missed. But there were some ones specifically for guys we just talked about, like RJ. Last year, he would take a couple or 3 of them, and if he wasn't hitting, he would start driving. He didn't do that today. So that was something that was kind of weird to see him not attack.
He lost the ball on like these random plays. I'm like,
and then what about the shot? He was going to take a pull-up jump. He's going to take a I was like, you know what? When he did that, I'm like, it's really just not your night. Like, it's just not your night. Just put this one behind you and move on.
The bunnies too is like he was just right at the cup, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, sometimes he bugs me out with some of those. It's like he's too big. He has small hands, maybe. I don't know. I'm like wondering if it's that, because he's big. He's too big to lose those shots at the cup. I'm sorry. I don't.
And he did. One of the drives he did do today was another thing I hate that he does sometimes. When he drives, he like falls backwards instead of leaning in. Yeah. And he did that too. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, attack the basket. Don't worry about it.
Be Kawhi Leonard, because Kawhi Leonard is not the most athletic person. He just realizes that I'm the strongest dude on this court. and Jimmy Butler's another dude. They will run through you because they're like, I'm going to, like RJ doesn't bully enough. I mean, we call him the Broadway bully or whatever. He's all these nicknames, but he truly isn't. He's more of a finesse player when he has the physicality that can punish dudes. By just run through.
He has to be like, yeah. He has to be prodded to do that stuff. Yeah. When he does it, he's successful. But you pretty much got to be like, dude, someone's got to tell him, attack the basket. Just don't worry about it.
Well, Jimmy Butler tried to tell him that last year in the game. In the game.
Well, that was the game. Didn't he have that's the game he almost had the 50, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Greg's right. Jimmy was like, run through. I don't get that about like a guy like him. It's like, it's almost like when guys are big guys, they're afraid to be big guys. And he makes me feel like he has a little bit of that, like, just kill him. You know, it's okay to have a kill notice. But I would say, I think he's more athletic than he is. And I think that's going to be a problem with him realizing what works. Once again, we talked about Jalen Brunson. Going in the paint, saying, I'm the big kid, this works. RJ's a little afraid, or he's got mixed wiring thinking that I got to make it look pretty. And you don't got to make it look pretty, dog. Just run through the guy.
I do think the team is telling him you have to be a better three-point shooter. And that's what's in his head when he's out there. They're telling him in order to get to that level you want to be at, you have to be able to hit the three in today's NBA. And I think that messes with his head too. I don't know for certain, but it does seem weird that he starts out like this and then eventually he's just like, screw it, I'm going to play my game. And then he has the second half he had last year. And you're okay. You figure, okay, he's arrived now. This is what he's going to do. He averaged like 24 in the second half of the season. So you're like, okay, this is what he's going to do. But again, it's first game. I think we wanted to see him come out because of the contract. We wanted to see him come out and kind of dominate. He just didn't do it tonight. But we have another chance on Friday to see that.
I think Friday you'll see RJ. I don't think you'll see whoever this imposter was.
Home opener.
DJ.
Yeah. It was RJ. AR.
You know, he's notorious. We know we can't overreact with him at all because he will eventually come around. I really, this is more probably me personally wanting to see him say, hey, Ja, you know what? I should have been number one. And I was like that with Kevin Knox the same way when Luka.
They get another chance.
When those guys come in, I'm like, you should be making statements saying, nah, you thought you were the best one.
Thanksgiving weekend they play at the Garden, so he'll get another shot.
Okay. So we have a quick turn with that.
Yeah, so Thanksgiving weekend he'll get another shot to tell John Morant, in his build, his gym this time. He could go excuse me. God, I'm gonna die. He could go back and go back at him.
Keep your dad in Memphis, please.
Yeah, that guy anyway.
Could go send me for Tracy Morgan or something.
Funny stuff. At least he's colorful. I'll say that. At least he's colorful. All right, so we're gonna shut this one down. I'm not feeling the best, and Craig has to go, and it's late anyway. But I want to thank everyone who watched again. We had fun doing this. It was good. It was a good game. You got to see us watch a game too a little bit, so you got to see that little side if you were here early enough to watch the end of the overtime. But it did end as a 115-112 loss for the Knicks. Again, they play Friday in Detroit. We will not be on there. We'll be back next Wednesday. We'll discuss whatever games have happened since then. Or if there's a game next Wednesday night, we'll talk about that game as well. And we will see you guys then. So for Ty and Craig, I'm Eric. You're watching All Nicked Up, and we'll see you next week.
Good night.